Kitty sprinkles.
I think I'm ready to pull my dick.
Answer me riddle.
Answer me riddle.
I was so excited when that micro content came out.
Answer me riddle.
Shit.
You be jerking me dick.
Be jerking me dick. Yeah, in a circle. What are we doing, John?
We're masturbating, I guess.
It's time. The Freedom Friends Master Debate. It's the day after St. Patrick's Day. I'm a little slow.
I mean, it's not that much different than any other day.
That's true. I'm just I'm turned to 9, not to 11.
You just have
That's
a time delay. That's it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. But yeah, how this works, go into it cold. Justin gives us a topic. We talk about it for 30 seconds and then usually bullshit the rest of the time. And being that John missed the podcast due to
Oh, I didn't miss it. You guys just did it without me.
hey, you're 2 hours late.
Can't say I missed it, Bob.
Fucking so we'll probably catch up on your time too, pal. And what you got going on. But Justin, what you got for us this week?
Guys, it wouldn't be the Freedom Friends if we didn't talk about our number one sponsor, Warfighter Tobacco. Obviously, you guys have seen us all smoke them. We're here to talk about a quality product that everybody can enjoy. The great equalizer, as we've called it, the Warfighter Tobacco Stick. And it's not just cigars. They've got humidors, travel humidors, cutters, lighters, everything you need to get started on that journey. So check out warfightertobacco.com and use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet, sweet 15%. If you want to know my personal favorite, I'm a 762 Field guy. I like that Sumatra, real nice and even keeled cigar. Great for us beginner smokers, right? And I'm told that these taste even better when you're listening to the Freedom Friends podcast. Now, back to the show. This episode is brought to you by Grill Your Ass Off. It's no secret, we're all middle-aged dudes who love barbecue. Grill Your Ass Off is our main go-to for our spices. That's what we use, man. Whether you're doing burgers on the grill, steaks, or my personal favorite, a little bit of pork belly burn ends, right? They've got you covered on all of that. They also have salsas. They also have seasonings and spices. They got beer salts. They've got everything, man. Check them out. GrillYourAssOff.com/FreedomFriendsPodcast or use the code FreedomFriendsPodcast at checkout.
All right, boys.
Buzz.
I want to know, is nostalgia ever actually as good as you remember?
Nope.
No. I mean, it's still nice.
So the brain does a fun thing,
Yeah.
right? Because, I mean, and the four of us can be the first ones to admit it. Like, you look back at your military career and you're like, man, that was fun. I had a great time.
Right. Yeah, right.
And then you're like, yeah. Remember that Tuesday you had to wake up at 03 to draw weapons and then they changed their mind. You had to run 15 miles instead. Was that fun?
No.
Did you have a good time?
Do you remember every time they said, hey, be here at this time? You were like, cool. And then somebody came behind them and was like, I know he said that time. 30 minutes before that.
Yep.
You're like, okay,
15
cool.
before that.
Yep.
And then your guy came to you and went, hey,
Every spot
I know
that
he
chain
said that
command
time.
adds 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the reason why I was at the armory but getting my weapon on 9/11 in California when it happened.
Yeah.
It's like 3:30, fucking 3:45 in the morning up there. Yeah. Because some asshole. The range started at 9. And it was like, fuck you, man. Like, ugh. Yeah. Yeah. Like we look back on it fondly, but it's trauma bonding. That's all it is. It's trauma bonding.
no, it's your brain will delete out
It deletes out the bad stuff.
the bad shit and you hold on to the couple of times that you had a good time with your
Yeah.
buddies. And then,
And then it forms this opinion about that time, being like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
yeah. Because if
Yeah.
it was that fucking great, there wouldn't be so many of us that were like,
Well, it's
yeah,
a
I did my
defense
time and then I
mechanism.
got the fuck out. And
You know, you look at somebody that was in an abusive relationship and they're like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. And you're like, really? How about you think about it? And then they think about it and they're like, whoa, just kidding.
That's right. He did fuck my sister and beat my ass. Maybe it wasn't that great. It's like, no shit. Yeah. Well, like a lot, thanks to the internet, nostalgia is easy to find. You know, like, I mean, it's just, you see something from your childhood. You mentioned it during the show. We were talking about the fucking candy.
fucking bunch of crunch.
Bunch of Crunch, right? Like, that's a nostalgic
Yeah.
feeling, you know?
Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
good.
Not that great. But every one of us would be like, yeah, I drink that.
You know, prime example of this, Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have zero positive memories.
No, but that shit came back and people are like, yeah. And then they were like, Oh, just kidding.
They're like,
This
oh,
still
remember
sucks.
this? Oh,
It never went anywhere. It's just people started seeing it again, and
Yeah.
we're like,
I think I just
fuck
developed
yeah.
as a human past.
it's also still $3.
it's fucking recession proof.
Like
Little
Arizona green tea raised its prices
Little
before
banana red.
MD
did?
2020 did.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, it's $1.29 a can now.
Oh, that's
Whatever, it's at
bullshit.
99 cents.
I wonder if they had to wait till they ran out of cans before they changed their pricing.
That's probably what it was.
Like we have 6 million cans we have to sell first.
We will never change. Not we have these cans. So.
We're losing 20 cents a can for everyone.
we are literally going to go under if you don't come up a quarter. All right.
Yeah. But I already told everybody I wouldn't. They're like, oh, you're a liar.
I hate to tell you this, nobody's going to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, and Arizona green tea is delicious.
It's still $1.29 for half a gallon.
It's fucking
Like,
huge.
fucking
It's like this
ridiculous.
size,
Yeah.
man. It's great. Yeah. Fucking, that's a good
It's like you'll drink Arizona green tea, but you're not going to go somewhere and just order green tea.
No.
Yeah.
And like lots of places serve it.
Sure.
Have you ever sat down and been like, oh, could I get some green tea?
The only time I do that is Formosa Garden. The
Yeah, but that's actual Sensual. That's real.
not
green
Formosa Garden. What the hell is that? What's the fucking place on stilts?
Oh, the one off of 410?
Yeah.
Um,
The fuck is the name? It's amazing.
it's really good.
It's
But that's real green tea. And
Yeah.
it comes in like a
You're the one that told me that you were like,
Yeah.
get the green tea. And I
Yeah,
was like,
it's really
I
good.
did. And I was like, this is fucking wonderful.
I think they serve I think they serve Ginshua. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's like real green tea.
Yeah. It's solid. That's the only time I've ever ordered green tea outside of in Arizona. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the Arizona green tea is just like it's like sweet tea.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah. But it's green tea, so it makes you feel like you're being healthy.
but is
Yeah,
nostalgia ever
Until you
as
read
good?
the nutrient facts.
I don't know. I think
That's reading. That's just paperwork.
I the 90s were kind of legitimately awesome. And I mean, add evidence by the fact that now everybody's just trying to snatch up anything they can from the 90s.
Yeah.
Like there's all these follow-on generations that are now like,
But that's
Like
just cycles, right?
Yeah, like tight rolling your jeans is coming back and shit.
no, not
like
fashion-wise. I mean, like there's people that are like hunting down like those old game systems and like all of that stuff to. But
I have a full Sega Genesis with a bunch of games still. I just can't. I don't have a TV that'll work.
I have the digital converter that'll let me hook it up to my plasma screen because I have a
You can
Genesis.
get it on Amazon for like $9.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You can also go to like any of these like Game Over and all that stuff all through town for $9. They'll sell you the thing that goes into the back of your Genesis,
like an HDMI.
and then it's just an HDMI right into your fucking flat panel.
Oh, okay.
It converts the signal.
Okay. I could fuck with some
But
fucking.
I
Mortal
think it was
Kombat.
also the stuff in the 90s. Like if it was meant for entertainment stuff, it literally was meant for entertainment. We have crossed this threshold now to where all of those things now are like, look how close to reality it is. And I'm like, I don't want it to be close to reality.
Right? I don't want to be confused. Like, I
Like
wanna
reality
fucking-
kind of fucking blows. Like I do this stuff to escape.
Yeah. It's escapism.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the whole fucking point.
But the 90s were also, it was just weird. We tried weird shit. We just put it out there, see what happened.
I mean,
Also, it was one of those ignorance is bliss. We just have so much fucking information now that it's like,
Yeah.
won't matter. It's going to fucking suck next week. Yeah, but it's awesome right now. Like,
no.
Like imagine how the 90s and early 2000s or late 90s, early 2000s would have been if the internet didn't take off.
Oh, dude. I mean, it'd still be the 90s. It would still be the same sort of shit. We were at peak fucking, we needed the internet to move forward. Like we were at peak fucking technology
Yeah.
without online, fucking.
well, like
problems.
anything, right? Information has changed everything.
Sure.
I mean, that's what the internet did. Is it information is truly power. It makes for a more informed buyer. It allows warnings to go out. Like there's all of that piece that goes out there. What's interesting now is like I'm a brick and mortar retailer.
Mm.
I have an e-com platform as well, but I'm a brick and mortar retailer.
Sure.
My brick and mortar only exists because I'm an experiential brick and mortar retailer. But if you look at the number of stores, huge stores that we thought were institutions that are going
No
away.
Well,
Yeah.
Kmart.
Fucking Macy's.
I don't know
Macy's.
how Kmart went out of business with those fucking commercials.
I know, right?
You can shit my pants.
Yeah.
I could shit my pants.
I just shit my bed.
It's the best. You remember Kmart subs? You used to be able to go and buy subs at Kmart. They were fucking delicious. They came in a bag. It looked like a bread bag, and it was like this long, and it was fucking like a pre-made sub. Fucking amazing. They were so good. Like just nitrates for days, maybe. Like,
but a lot of those massive brick and mortar retail shops are going away now.
no.
Thanks, internet.
And but a lot of it is that you have much smaller companies with the same quality of product that people are now getting their hands on. And so, but there is that nostalgia factor of going out to those places.
Yeah.
The sound and the smell and everything of doing it in person. So everything's also become very impersonal now.
Right.
And so that's why I think like through the 90s, even the early 2000s and stuff, where it still was about going out to do it. That's why the 90s were great. Like that really was, we were a far more social being than we are.
It was the last time you were forced to talk to another human being.
Yeah.
You couldn't just get away with isolating yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to me. Everybody, like these young girls these days who have like these daddy issues and want guys that are in their mid 30s and their 40s.
It's just type A people.
It's all we're not scared to talk to girls.
Right.
That's the only thing, right? Like I mean, it's like oh,
fuck.
Like,
Where was I when I had this conversation?
I try to teach my children if you just have the confidence and you go talk to anybody, like that's all they want.
I was in Roatan. Changing the subject drastically, but talking about this kind of brought it up. I was in Roatan. I was talking with the film guys that were down there, and we were just, literally talking about everything, just because it's kind of what you do.
Just killing time. Yeah.
And I don't know how we got on the topic of it, but we got on this topic of porn sites.
They're just not as personal as they used to be.
No, imagine okay, so when we were growing up and you go steal a Playboy or a Penthouse or whatever,
Or VHS.
it was way different than what you can access on the internet today.
Oh, for sure,
Imagine being a kid today and that is like your norm.
dude. That's why
imagine growing up and you're like 16, you're like, well, this is how every video I've ever seen, this is how they do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, you missed our plug for a sponsor.
You did. I think the problem now, though, is I think
it's very apropos. You could bring it back up so you know what
for a
sponsor we're going
big population of the younger people that are looking at porn, right? That's good enough. I don't think they even need to go experience it. They just
because now they're looking at me like, so to bang this chick, I got to find 4 other dudes.
Yeah, it's like I need a black couch.
I've been ordering pizza for 2 years now. It's never happened. It's always some dude that shows up.
I can find 4 other dudes, and I can't figure out how to do the
My
whole
only
loop
chance is
underneath
my
the legs
stepson.
and hold her by the shoulders thing. Like that's a
Yeah, it's just. I had an older brother. Yeah, this is.
So I want to sponsor the show.
It's like dog dicks and shit,
What?
dragon cocks and stuff.
Bad dragon.
Are they paying us?
I'm working on it.
We're gonna try. Shit.
Well, they got one.
We
hell
don't
of a-
kink shame
They
here.
got one hell of a free plug earlier. So
Yeah.
Careful with what you're asking for.
Free plug, huh? Maybe they'll send us some free plugs.
Does it come with the cum tube?
The cum tube is so good. I'm telling you.
No.
We did,
Some of these come
No.
with a suction cup and cum tube, or you can order it with the dragon mount.
yeah.
Nope. You're not sucking me in, goddammit.
Hey, can you figure out what a dragon mount is? Because
Nope.
I don't know what it is.
Do you really need to ask what that is?
I'm curious what a dragon
Hey, go to that Kmart submarine sandwich. That's a way better topic.
John, can you guess at what a dragon mount is?
No, I don't want to guess. I don't want to know. I don't no. That's
Look at these little dildos, masturbators, wearables, rideables.
I like.
shapes,
You know what?
lil vibes,
little squirts.
little squirts.
Those are rappers.
This
Is this a SoundCloud?
It's the easiest platform for them to launch their new CD.
Yeah. Well, can check out my new mixtape.
Brought to you by Bad Dragon.
It's the St. Patty's Day drop, dog. What the fuck, man?
There was an accessories tab.
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Well, the fucking Justin with the joke of the hour last show was fucking He went to like the checkout. He's like, this is the same checkout you use when you order a Kydex holster.
Because
They had all the different color patterns that you could order.
yeah.
So it was all those little
extra if you
thumbnails
want
with
carbon
colors.
fiber?
It's so fucking funny. dude.
Right hand, left hand.
Can you add a logo?
Battle pub fucking dog dicks.
I had originally started the conversation with them because we were trying to get a trophy made for Portmore for whoever fucked the other team the hardest. And we were going to just give them an extra large dick.
Oh, that's fucking funny. It'd have to be something weird. But that's to your point though. Like that's the kind of shit that they're used to seeing now.
You could get knocking the hippocampus.
John, tell me you haven't seen this exact page on a Kydex fucking website.
It's the same plugin that they use for fucking Shopify.
Magpul's buys just like this. It's just all the different colors of your furniture.
However, I will give Bad Dragon one prize.
Hey, look, it's
They have
$20
a
to
lot.
put glitter in it.
They have a lot of SKUs. Holy shit.
I appreciate the name.
Oh, the
Oh,
bad
the
dragon.
names
Yeah.
were fucking
Oh yeah,
insane.
Knocking the hippocampus.
these are great, dude. Ellen the Alien Queen, Fenrir the Wolf Dragon.
Why are we doing this
Orochi the
again?
dragon kaiju. Well, we had to bring
I know.
John up to speed in case they sponsor.
Why were you looking up Kmart sub?
Go back to Dragon Mount or just figure out what it is and talk
I want to know what a dragon mount is.
How are you guys not guessing at what a dragon mount is?
I'm assuming it's just like the strap-on holder. Yeah,
It's got to be what it is.
that's. But what if we're wrong? What if it's something?
What's going to
weird?
crack me up is that if it's a Picatinny, if it's a jockstrap with a Picatinny rail on it, because if that's the case, I'm ordering one.
It's got a QD mount.
Oh
See, we were all
my
wrong.
Wow,
god!
you're
What
wrong. Yeah,
in
it's a
the
suction
fuck?
plug.
Click that fourth picture over. What is?
Oh, it just goes in the back.
Oh,
It's a butt plug for your.
Do you know what I think? That
Huh.
I think that's so
See,
you
we
can-
were wrong.
I think it's so you can set it on stuff.
Yeah.
Not designed to be inserted in the body.
it's a display piece.
You know what? They're actual.
It's for display. It's literally just so that you can display it.
Yeah. See? Color me surprised.
Their actual sex toys are like $70+ and that thing's only $15.
These sex toys start at $170 and go up from there.
The last one was only 70. Must have been on sale.
That was a tiny one.
The knocking the.
Oh, well, they've got a replacement cum tube syringe.
Sure do.
That with dragon glue.
What? What?
If you rip it,
Dude, don't
Silicone adhesive.
Don't keep them in the same place with your lube.
mix those.
You
up.
don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would be a bad.
shit. Is
day.
that a burrito? Yeah. Thanks, man.
Hey, take your present. It's your present.
You definitely didn't get it off that website.
Jazz's wife could not have had more perfect timing to walk into the room.
Oh, Bad Dragon. Fucking A. Oh, that's fun. Anyways.
So, for those of you that are listening and not watching, my wife just delivered me a fucking burrito.
About the size of one of those.
yeah,
Kind of looks like
That's the-
Fenrir the
Bad Dragon.
Greyback.
the medium size.
Where'd you go? Freebirds?
Yeah.
That a boy. Good call.
So it's a boy's nostalgia.
Yeah. Well, that's the point, right?
Yeah, I
Like-
remember.
I remember when dildos just looked like a dick.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I thought it was weird that it was pink.
That's right. You wrote. Never mind.
Huh?
Are you about to make an uncle joke?
No, I was going to make a joke that you're only used to the black ones.
But
I caught
a funny
myself.
joke. That's a funny joke.
But no, I guess we're going to throw it out there.
Yeah. Fuck.
Why is it pink? Because it's not meant for you.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's fucking weird. But you would see, like, kids are watching videos of girls fucking wallering out their holes with these things, and they're like, well, how the fuck do I, like, That's a different level of the shit. That we come a long way from sticking the fucking Sears catalog pages together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that shit's changed, you know? Like, because we were resourceful. Like, we jerked off with our own minds because we were fucking psychopaths. Like, we
Remember when that Fredericks of Hollywood fucking...
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Because that one was a little racy.
It was.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
racy
but then
one.
it didn't dawn on you that somebody in your household had to have bought something from there
Right?
to
Yeah.
end up on the.
And the only women in my household, mom and grandma.
Somebody had to make a purchase.
Yep. Yep.
I just thought they came to
Yep.
every house.
Blissfully ignorant. Well, and it's funny because every one of your friends that you talk to, they magically had one too.
Yep.
And they
Yep.
knew there was a nipple on page 11.
It was actually just one. We just shared it really well. We were amazing at networking back in the 90s, considering we didn't have the communication tool as the internet.
When I got to Airborne school and we got in the barracks, there was a hand-me-down of porn that has been, it had been 200 magazines. And I don't know how nobody got caught with this, but it was a hand-me-down that I think at the time, and this was, I think 2001, it was going on for like 3 years. And somebody would be in possession of it for their 3 weeks while they were there. And then they'd hand it down to the next class and it just kept going and going and going and going.
Yeah. We had that in
So-
Iraq. We had like a community pool.
But so
They
talking
should've just
about,
made that an inspectable item.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait, you're missing a mag. You only have 199. It's supposed to be 200 here. Where is it? Okay, we're tossing the bunks.
That'd be fucking great. We're add it to the CMR.
You just sign for it. It's the most valuable piece of equipment on this base.
Hey man, that's morale, welfare, and just good times. Fuck.
In General Order 1 Alpha.
Morale, welfare, and recreation.
There you go. Yeah. Hence MWR. Truth.
Why couldn't I sign those out? Could sign out a kayak with a hole in it. But I couldn't
I
fucking
think
Right.
I think Vietnam is the reason.
I don't know, man. Like I had an older brother, and so I had a nickname in high school. It was Porno Mike because I had so much fucking porn, and we had so many friends named Mike, and I was like, I hated the nickname, but everybody knew me as, oh, you're Porno Mike, and I was like, yeah, fucking great, whatever, you know. But like,
What do you need?
dude, I would have dudes like come up and like knock on my window of my apartment and be like, hey, you get any porn? I'd be like, yeah, like, here you go. I just had a bunch of shit, like, because my brother was a fucking pervert,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Your brother.
Well, I wasn't old enough to buy the shit, so I was getting it from somewhere. But I was the only one that had an older brother who was that much older than me, right?
Yeah.
Remember, when I was 12, my brother was 18, you know? So it was like too easy, you know? 10? When I was 10, he was 18. Yeah. So I just had an overabundance of stuff. I remember I would see like the same women in different magazines. I'd be like, good for her. She's moving up. I'd be
Went
like,
from schwank to hustler.
yeah, dude.
Good for her.
Hey. And then like eventually she'd be in like the over 40 one. I'd be like, hey, what the fuck? It's still working. Like, yeah. It's so fucking funny. So we just had somebody walk into the peanut gallery. We got Gary Brugman sitting in the house.
Hey.
This fucking retard yesterday sends me the best ammo he ever could have. And I immediately made a reel. He sent me, I was giving him shit about how he looks like all the village people because he always dresses like and he sent me a picture of him in a cowboy hat, a construction worker, of like all this shit. All he needs is a headdress, right? And I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I don't care. He's like, are you going to post it? I was like, no, I'm waiting for Pride Month. Don't worry. It's in my drafts. Yeah. It's good. Good looking out. Muting that so that we don't get dinged. And I was just like, what are you doing, man? He's like, fuck. What's something you still feel nostalgic about?
Cars.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think the smell of an old car just brings you back?
The smell of exhaust from an old vehicle.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because
Like-
the inside of every car smelled different. Every car has a smell.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I remember like
Some earned it for sure.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Well, like my mom had a T-Bird, right? Had an old T-Bird. And like I remember the smell of that car. Like it probably had cigarette fucking smoke that thick in the fucking thing. But yeah. Like it was long ass bench seat. Every time she turned, I'd
But
just
you know,
slide
like-
to the other side.
Like the question is nostalgia as good as we remember? Right? Old cars, quite honestly, they suck.
Yeah.
They sucked back then. Like you can make an old car modern and awesome now, but back then, compared to what we have
Because
now,
they looked great.
yeah, they look great. But
Performance wise.
oh yeah, they were fucking dog turds.
Yeah.
Now you can get that fucking 4-cylinder Mustang that has way more horsepower than the old V8 one did. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's fucking
That's so funny too. Like, oh, it's a 350 with 185 horsepower. My favorite was when they'd advertise, let's get a 454 big block with 196 horsepower.
Yeah.
And you're like, how?
how? Yeah,
How do you only have that much?
Yeah. It's like a Cummins 903. It's like 903 cubic inches. How much horsepower? 525. What the fuck? Like, dude, that ain't shit. Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's why companies like Edelbrock and stuff made their name.
yeah.
Because you'd order their 350 crate and they advertised it as it's a 350, it's a 350 cubic inch small block.
Yep.
Yep.
350 horsepower.
Yep.
Yep.
And people are like, oh my God. And they're like, yeah, we didn't really do much.
Yeah, like
We just bolted it together.
Yeah.
I think our you know, like my goal out of a 350 was like 400 horsepower. And that
Yeah.
was like awesome.
It's like, man, I just got this quadrajet. This thing's going to give me so
Like-
much more HP.
500 horsepower then is like today's 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got like Texas 2Ks going on right now.
Yeah, that shit's retarded though.
And the slow Texas 2K cars.
well,
are
I'm talking.
1,000
I'm
horsepower.
talking like production stuff, not like the custom builds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're looking at like you need some Shelby GT, something fucking crazy to get even close to 4.
Well, a lot of those,
Yeah.
a lot of the companies back then, though, they advertised less horsepower for emissions than they actually had.
Like the Z27, the original Camaro Z27 in 72, and they put it out, had a D-stroked 350 in it. It was a 350 with a 283 crank. That's what made the 327.
Yep.
And they advertised it at like 240 horsepower. It was closer to like 360, 370. But they wanted to race it in NASCAR.
Yeah.
So they literally just lied.
Yeah. Well, and it kept everybody's insurance less. It kept, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will tell you, those stories you hear about your grandfather telling you they did a car that could like hop a Coke can. No, he didn't.
It could what?
Hop a Coke can.
Oh,
Could sit there and torque it and it would hop over a Coke can and stuff. No, he didn't.
No.
No, he didn't. Those cars weighed a bajillion pounds.
Yeah. He also walked to school barefoot up hills
Yeah.
both ways. Yeah.
Those cars weighed a bajillion pounds. They weren't that fast. They all sounded great and they
Yeah.
look fantastic.
My brother had this fucking 78 Cougar. This thing was a fucking tank.
I have a 79 Cougar.
Hey. Fucking that thing. That's the one that the fucking brakes went out when we were going downhill. And we were just like, oh my.
I agree with you on the old car thing. The biggest thing and this is real nostalgia and it's as qualities that I miss being able to actually just work on my own fucking car.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things about having motorcycles now is that I can take it apart. I can put it back together.
Yeah.
Like I can.
Yeah.
Like there's not much on the side by side I'd be afraid to do if I had to.
Right. But if you ask me to change something on my F-150,
Yeah.
No.
what do you mean reboot it? Like it's
Yeah, dude,
Did you try
I can't
unplugging
find the
it for 10
keyboard.
seconds
I
and
don't
plug
know
it
how
back
to
in?
control
Yeah.
alt delete.
Yeah.
Just unplug it for 10 seconds and plug it back in.
Yeah.
That fixes 90% of shit.
Yeah.
but my bike, fucking decent set of fucking box end wrenches, and I could take apart 90% of my fucking motorcycle.
Yeah.
Well, then everything's light enough. You don't need a hoist and a fucking
I didn't mind that even
jack
when I was
and
working.
you know,
on
like
the car.
to get under the shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And, but you know, I used to be able to open a hood and actually like fuck with the car.
You used to be able to open a hood, sit on the wheel well,
Yeah.
and work on it.
Yeah.
Now you open a hood, you can barely fit a fucking pencil anywhere.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that and the engines used to be sit like this. Now they're like fucking turned and fucking backwards and shit. And it's
That's
like,
only in
what
your
the fuck?
minivan.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Minivans are
Your
fucking
pickup,
wild.
your Tacoma, it's still normal.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons I like it. But there's a lot of like
Front wheel drive cars.
a lot
They're
of
almost always front wheel drive. They're almost always in their sideways.
yeah. Yeah. And it's fucking a pain in the ass to work on every time.
They're all a pain in the ass to work on now.
Yeah.
You see that you didn't have an old van where it was under the passenger seat.
Yeah, where you had to like take out the fucking middle.
The whole transmission.
Under the
Yeah.
dash.
Yeah. My grandma had an Aerostar that was like that. And I had to fucking, I was doing work on it for when I was on leave one time and I was getting madder than fuck, man. I was just like, fuck this thing, dude. Just sell it. Just get rid of this bitch. Trade it in. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
It's like changing an air filter in one of these new cars. And I'm like, I shouldn't need tools to change an air filter.
3 clips. That's all I should do.
Yeah.
Nope.
Now it's like, no, you got to move this out of the way and move that out of the way.
Yep.
Open up your glove
Start by
compartment.
taking your front bumper off and then remove your radiator.
Yeah.
And then there's a bolt that's next to your
fuck?
drain pan that you have to remove. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
We had an
Fucking
employee who
crazy.
the battery, must have been a bad battery or something, but the battery went out of their Maverick and we couldn't jump it. The battery was just bad.
Yeah.
So we had to replace the battery. And I think we took out a third of what was under the hood to get the fucking battery out of the goddamn car. And I
How
was
big's
like,
the battery on those?
So
It's a car battery.
size.
Is it is not the hybrid battery? Those fucking
that's a
weird
different.
ones?
I'm talking about just the car battery.
Just the regular 12
We still had to
volt.
pull like a third of the shit out from
Yeah.
underneath the hood to get the fucking battery out of it.
Dude.
Like it's just so yeah, the old car thing. I do miss the old smell, like that.
Yeah.
But you know, that's when like you really knew you became a car guy because you could like tell if somebody was rich or lean.
Yeah.
Just like by standing too close enough to it, and it was like, well, he smells rich, but he sounds cammed, so he's probably got it jetted for high RPM pull and like like, and you kind of knew what you could do on like sound and smell.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, when I hooked it up to this $10,000 fucking machine,
Yeah.
it said,
That my air fuel mixture and ratio were,
Yeah. My mass
we're not
airflow sensor.
Well, what the fucking, I can't even remember the
yeah,
word now.
it says that
Stoichiometric.
your injector timing is off by however much.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus.
What? It's saying my engine's retarded?
Yeah.
I'm sick of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad.
No, it is. You just have to advance your timing a little bit. It'll run fine.
Yeah.
I miss that shit. Fucking undoing that one bolt, just grabbing your whole fucking distributor and like while it was running and just start twisting it and going like,
Oh, no, go back.
hey, that sounds right. And you just fucking tighten it back down.
Yep. Yep.
I need a strobe light gun.
That looks like TDC to me.
You ever change a fucking timing chain?
I have.
This is the worst. It was so fucking annoying. I remember my brother just lost his one time. It was just dangling. It was fucking, I was like, hey. I was like, I don't think that's supposed to do that. It's weird.
I did cams in an 09 Mustang, and I had to buy specialty tools for it that the dealerships in Phoenix didn't even have. And there was one shop in Phoenix that had the tools I needed, but they wouldn't loan them or rent them. He said, if you pay me to do your cam job, I'll do it. If not, you're on your own with your tools. And I'm like, fine, fuck you. And I went and bought all the tools, and I called all the dealerships, and I'm like, hey, if you ever need to borrow these tools, they're available for rent. But one of them is like a $470 timing chain. It was a piece of metal, probably this big, and it had a little triangle block made out of polyurethane on the bottom. And you pulled up your timing chain, your cam chain, you stuck that down on the bottom, and it kept it so it didn't lose
Would fall at a time.
all your time. And I mean, I spent probably a week mathing all this out in my head if I needed this or not to finish this job. And every single scenario came to, yes, I need this.
I need a $400 ruler.
Well, it's either that or now I got to pull my heads and and I'm
Yep.
like, fuck all of this.
When I had my first Mini, that was the wildest shit I've ever done. And you were joking about like remove your bumper and your whatever.
Mm-hmm.
On that Mini, I had to remove the front bumper, and then you had to go buy a set of elongated bolts, and you pulled the bolts out of the radiator that also had the accessory rack on it, run these elongated bolts, and you'd slide it all forward to put it in service mode. So you slid everything out of the way on these bolts
What the fuck?
so that you could access the front of it. And then I had to buy a $192 bar,
Yeah.
and it was literally a piece of steel with two fucking nubs on the end of it that socketed into a position on the block to pull tension, to pull the harmonic balancer off the front of it. Because there was a known issue with the original batch of the BMW Minis.
Yeah.
With a harmonic balancer, the outside pulley would shear off of the rubber on the inside of it.
it's just losing weight. You're fine.
And except for shut the car. And so to change that, they had literally made a tool just to take that part off.
Yeah.
And oh God.
You can find some hillbilly that just built his own. That's usually what you would say.
Stuff now. Now I own goofy stuff for my bike, but it's like little shit. Like I own there's a little block that I had to buy when I did my cam.
For your cam chain.
And you literally stick it in there and it locks the gears together so that it's so that you can loosen shit without the gears turning.
No.
There's one for
But I think it was like 3 raspberries. Because it's just a piece of urethane.
But there's one for I can't even think of it right now.
I also have those little U-shaped lifter holders that you fucking
Yeah.
when you take the push rods out and you stick it in and it's got magnets in the end of it and it pulls your fucking lifters
nice.
back.
Never mind. I can't think of.
What's it do?
It literally connects your engine to your transmission on the left side of your engine. That fucking big.
Oh, that lockout plate that you can
remember
get?
what that fucking thing's called right now. My brain isn't working.
Primary?
Yeah, your primary chain. There we go. See? They have this locking tool, and essentially it's just
Let's go MMI.
It's a fucking bar stock. And that's literally all it is. And you buy it from Harley, and it's like $80, or you can just go cut one.
Yep.
You know, and I was just like, oh, I'm just going to make my own.
The number of people that I saw, that little block that I was talking about that locks your timing gears together, the number of people that I saw that were like, no, just go buy pine wood and line it up there and smack it with a hammer so that the teeth just chew into the wood and lock it. And I was like, the actual tool is like $6.
Yeah. Right.
It's actually cheaper than that piece of wood.
Yeah. And I'm not slamming a piece of wood against my timing gears with a hammer. Like,
Oh, shit'll buff out.
What's wrong with you?
John, what's something you're nostalgic about?
Lower population.
Oh.
I got a good one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Music.
Yeah.
And,
Sure.
that still holds true.
Yeah.
I still like older music.
I was gonna say like playing music. Every time I play a guitar
Yeah.
and like I remember I learned this song when I was like 14 or 16 or something. That like brings me back. That's
Older music is better. And you know what I think it is? There's nothing fucking original anymore.
Well, what else can you do unless somebody invents a new instrument or something? You know?
yeah.
But there's so few bands now that are making
Saxaboom.
new music though.
Yeah.
Like there's so many goddamn covers, remixes, redos, guest spots like this. And I'm like,
Better.
there's nobody writing. There's a couple of bands out there that I really like that are literally making truly new music. And it's fantastic. But there's no real artists anymore because all of it's,
Yeah.
oh, you look right, we'll tune you. We brought in 4 writers, they'll write everything for you. And
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, your voice is okay? Okay, cool. Here's your band, and this is what you're going to sing.
well, there's a thing literally called the millennial loop. And it's a series of notes that they figured out that the millennial generation if you write a song with that millennial loop in it, it'll click and it'll sell and it does well on the radio. And,
Yep. Well, it's like a 4-chord song. It's the whole thing.
and that's essentially what a millennial loop is. And
Yeah.
when you hear it by itself, it'll fuck you up because then you'll hear like new music and you're like, motherfucker. And it is not genre specific. I'm not saying that they use it in like pop music or whatever. It is just in modern music, country, pop, rock, or whatever. There's this thing called the millennial loop. And if they make a song with it in it, you can
They
go
need to
look at
bring
how many
back-
of them Billboard chart and it's crazy.
They need to bring back hair metal.
Fuck yeah, dude. Steel Panther tried.
They're
Yeah.
still doing it.
They're still doing it.
They can't play it on the radio.
Who did
That's
I
their
meet?
biggest downfall.
I met somebody who's like fucking uncle is the lead guitarist of Steel Panther.
I think they've had like 19 of them.
No, I know, but like currently. And I was like,
Oh,
dude,
he's-
fucking hook it up. I was like, hell yeah.
I'll wear
man.
zebra print pants. Let's
Fucking
fucking go.
all day, dude.
It's a fun concert.
Hell yeah.
They're on tour right now with some other band that's
They had a Vegas residency. They've done. They're.
I can't remember who it was.
But if you ever get a chance, to
Oh
see
no,
Steel
I think it's
Panther live-
5 Finger Death Punch, and I think that's what turned me off. And I was like, all right, I'd go see Steel Panther, but then I'd leave.
If you ever get
I
a
like
chance
Five
to
Finger.
see Steel Panther, they can fucking play.
They wail.
Oh,
dude.
for sure,
Like,
dude.
their songs are super fucked up, and their costumes are hilarious.
I've watched a bunch
But
of their
goddamn,
concerts.
are they great
Yeah.
fucking
I haven't like been in the stadium with them, but because they record all their concerts and put them out, like so
Yeah.
you can go watch them, and especially the ones where they're like, there'll be some like 11-year-old in the fucking audience and shit with like a sign that says like, I can play, and like insert one of their songs there, and they're like, oh yeah, get your fucking ass up here and fucking prove it, and then the kid will go up there and just fucking wail, and they're like,
Those are the best.
Yeah.
holy shit, and they're like,
That's like when the Kiss guy with fucking Foo Fighters.
yeah,
He was like, get up here, Kiss guy. And the Kiss guy went up there. The guy was just
And
dressed
just-
as Gene Simmons. And
Yeah.
went up there and fucking mollywopped.
fucking killed Monkey
Yeah.
Wrench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good fucking video.
He was all over the place, dude. That kid was just like fucking like put on a show. And
Had
it was
the
like,
best night of his life, bro.
Yeah.
You want to talk about grabbing your moment and rolling with it? Let's go, dude.
fucking
Like,
Kiss guy.
fucking kid. He was like, what's your name? Doesn't fucking matter. You're
Speaking
Kiss
of
guy.
nostalgia, I like Dave Grohl because Dave Grohl is still a fucking, I mean, he's almost 50 now, I think,
Yeah,
but he's still a fucking rock star.
sure.
And now everybody, because he's gotten older and the Foo Fighters are,
The Foo Fighters.
they are kind of radio friendly rock. Like
Yeah.
a lot of their stuff is radio friendly rock
Sure.
and stuff. He somehow fell into this like position of being like that fun uncle of rock. And so like everybody was like, because he jokes around a lot and stuff and he just seems like a really approachable guy.
Sure.
But then all the shit came out that was like, well, he could have upwards of 14 illegitimate children. And I'm like,
Yeah, he's a rock star.
yeah.
That's it.
He was in that we like, I'm like, that we know about. He was the drummer for Nirvana at like 19.
Yeah.
This dude has been a
They were
rock
the
star
biggest fucking
for
band
pushing
in
like
the world. at that time.
35 fucking years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He's been doing global stadium tours
He just
for pushing 4 decades.
and it's just been a sea of bitches throwing pussy at him the whole time.
But he's married.
A
You
slew
think
of
he
pussies.
cares? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. He's never.
Just a school of sleuths.
A slew of hussies. Yeah.
Sleuth.
A sleuth.
The what the fuck's his name? The drummer from Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chad something, I think.
Yeah.
Chad Smithwick, I think.
Chad Smith.
Yes,
Yeah.
Chad Smith.
Will Ferrell.
Him and Will Ferrell are related.
That feud is hilarious.
There are so many times where I'll see a video like of Chad, like the drummer, and I'm like, "What? I'm like, Will
fuck
Ferrell
is Will
can't
Ferrell
play the fucking drums."
Here's the thing: Will Ferrell can play the drums.
Not like that.
Not
Sort
like
of.
that, but
But they've like brought him on. They've had both of them on shows where they've like drummed off against each other. And
Yeah.
shit like that. Do you see that one where they were both at like the Lakers game? Didn't know they were both there.
yeah.
And you just see fucking Will Ferrell sitting there just going like,
Yeah.
that is terrifying. Now,
They became buddies now.
here's the thing.
But-
They look identical. Chad Smith just looks like Will Ferrell if Will Ferrell had done a fuck ton of drugs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's just
And I don't doubt that Will Ferrell has done
I was gonna say, so who would Will Ferrell
Yeah,
look
but he
like if he
doesn't-
didn't do drugs?
he doesn't he hasn't done Red Hot Chili Peppers level of shit though. Like
True. He hasn't been taking bumps off a flea. You know what I mean? Yeah.
that guy's still in a band after 35 years with a dude that only wears a sock. So
Yeah.
like
Hey, the NASA astronauts just landed. They made it back.
Did you see the Babylon Bee article
No.
that said the president doesn't have a right to do this? Congress is voting to send the astronauts back to space.
You know, some judge just should have made a ruling that they can't come back yet. They're going to turn around.
That's fucking crazy. Well, dude, after watching, I
8
watched the
days
Musk.
into 8 months. That's a field exercise that you weren't ready for.
Dude, I watched the Musk interview on Rogan, and they were talking about how, like, you know why they're not back? It was because of the election.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want it to look good for Trump. When
Yeah.
Musk endorsed Trump, they were like, we don't want it to look good for him. So they fucking left him there for an extra fucking 4 months. And I was like,
Insane. dude.
fuck you people, man. You
We
gotta,
logistically can't make it work.
he did it in a day.
Go get him.
He went up there yesterday. He went up there at fucking 1 a.m. this morning or some shit.
Oh no, it was Sunday. They flew up there.
Yeah. That's what it was.
At the same time, California tried to say that it was fucked up that they finished phase 1 of the fire rebuild in like 22 days as opposed to the 9-month calendar California had built originally.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, do you have any idea the upset that this has caused? It's gotten in the way of a lot of things. And it was like,
Fuck you. It's like, ugh.
what? Then it was like, so it got in the way of all of the slush money that would have been pushed around for a 9-month phase 1 rebuild instead of a 21. But evidently, they just kind of showed up and was like, here's how this is going to happen. We're going to help you rebuild, and you're going to get the fuck out of the way. And if you won't get the fuck out of the way, you get no assistance in rebuilding it. Like, that's how this works.
Yep.
But you will move your bureaucracy out of the fucking way, and we're going to get the fucking job done. And if you don't, you're on your fucking own.
Yeah.
And so
I love it.
Was a 9-month
fucking love
plan
it.
turned into like a 22-day execution. And it's done.
Fucking
Phase
love
1's over.
Yeah.
Like
It's impressive.
I just saw Trump's approval ratings as of, I think, yesterday.
polls have been very friendly.
And they're the highest they've ever been.
Yeah. Is that like 70%?
It's hilarious, though,
Wow.
when you listen to news.
Yeah.
And you're...
Well, and that was the thing is like CBS and everybody went after him because of how fast he was in California. And it was like,
Well, they're still going after him, but everything he's doing. But I think the general population is understanding that, like,
They're reading through the bullshit.
no, all of this is happening on purpose right now because the ship is, as long as it continues, is getting righted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, everything's inflated.
well,
Like,
we were
like if-
we were mid capsize.
If you're a politician on the left right now and you keep down the road of like fuck everything he's doing and this fucking stay with this woke shit, like why? Like
Yeah.
you need to be changing.
I saw a thing that the new leader of the Democratic Party they're looking for is going to be AOC. And I was like,
So-
do it.
Well, what the
do
fuck?
it.
Jazz,
do it.
We've talked about this a lot in past episodes with like sticky pricing and things like
Yep.
that. Right. How do you get rid of that?
So, in my opinion, what we'll see on the sticky pricing and it falling off is by opening up the competitive edge for more companies to come into the market, pricing then has to get competitive. By isolating it through, Jesus, yesterday was apparently giving me a bit of a brain fog.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's okay. I couldn't remember what a primary chain was.
We didn't
like-
drink a little.
the big companies that, like when you supplement,
Or price fix. Or,
no, when you go in and supplement these companies and shit like that, the really big dogs, and you supplement them so that they can essentially hold a government sponsored monopoly,
Yeah.
or you keep cutting funding to things like the federally sponsored farms and shit like that, and you keep cutting that funding
Yeah.
when fuel prices go through the fucking roof, and you don't think about the fact that look at some of these egg farms and dairy farms and the diesel generators that they run on those fucking places to keep everything going, the diesel it takes to run their machinery, then to get all the delivery done and all that kind of stuff. All of that is going to impact price by the time it gets, because they have to sell it for so much more to the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen is the really big dogs, right? Like Eggland, the ones that have these giant fucking, and I'm harping on the egg thing because that's what everybody wants to fucking talk about is how expensive eggs are. Because for some reason, anytime anything happens, we need to buy eggs, milk, and bread. I'm like, how
And toilet paper.
the fuck are you doing with all this? I need to buy 19 loaves of bread. When's the last time you bought a loaf of bread?
Yeah, I have 600 pounds of meat in my garage.
Yeah, fucking. So
Fuck your eggs.
what ends up happening is
You know?
they take all the supplemental stuff and they like the sticky pricing and they've got these contracts. And so then when you start having co-op farmers that'll go like, well, fuck it, we'll come 15% under. Buy it from us. They buy it 50. Well, then the big boys have to go like, oh, Jesus Christ, we're going to get cut out by all these co-opers and they're going to come in and they're going to crush the price market and we're going to lose all these fucking contracts. Cool. Well, we'll come in 10% under the co-op farmers that are already 15%. And that's how you start seeing that. But when you start opening up competitive edge where it really does start driving, because it's not a lack of product. None of this is lack of product.
So why do you think pricing got to where it got?
Pricing got to where it got, in my opinion, because of government subsidy.
Okay. So the government was essentially giving out money that didn't exist.
It was government subsidy.
So it was...
And if you could continue to increase your cost of operation so that you could show that your margin was being impacted, you kept qualifying for subsidy. So what you would do is you would continue to push these companies. These companies would continue to push at, well, our cost of operation keeps going up. It keeps going up. It keeps going up. Oh, cool. Well, we'll subsidize you because you are a necessary product. So we'll subsidize. Cool. well, now we've sold. Well, now we're at a loss. We're going to keep raising this price and we're going to sell it in to keep getting the subsidies. Prices keep going up in the general market, but we're going to continue to operate at a loss. You're not really, because then you're seeing these reports of like, well, our profit margins were up 33% over last year. And it's like, well, how did that happen? It's like, well, we said that we were going to increase our pay rate by X.
Yeah.
But then we couldn't do that because of insert fucking excuse here. But when you say you do it, so you look at projection, and subsidies done on projection, not report. You do it for the projection to show that you're going to operate at a loss. You get subsidized.
And then you don't operate.
And then
at a
you
loss.
don't do it. You still get the subsidy and you still increase the price.
Yep.
So in at least in the United States, pricing across the board and almost everything went up.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Any commodity, any good, anything that needs to be used by the general population has increased within the past 5 years or so. If you dig into economics on a larger scale, and just, easy searches,
Sorry.
you look into how much government spending makes up the GDP of the United States.
Yep.
It's roughly about 24% of our GDP, a quarter of the money that we quote unquote bring into this country is supplied by government spending, U.S. government spending.
And that's the problem.
Right?
Is
So
it's that
when
that
you
subsidy
cut government spending, you limit the economy. By limiting the economy, you lower prices, right? If people are making less money, they're going to spend less, which means companies are going to charge less because they still need to sell products, which means they're going to figure out a way to make it cheaper, right? So in the past 5 years, we've had a shitload of artificial inflation in every single market across the board, to the point where we're having similar issues to prior recessions going on with loans and credit cards and all kinds of shit right now, almost identical levels. And then you look at the fact that the U.S. government makes up almost a quarter of the annual GDP. So if you cut that, and you cut government spending, and you cut subsidies, and you deregulate things, in the short term, you cause a forced recession. In the long term, you fix the artificially inflated everything
because they bring the price back down.
that just happened.
If 25% of these big companies' income disappears,
Mm-hmm.
they have to look at the people that actually have the money to spend. That goes back to the consumer. And if the consumer's going like, fuck you, I just won't buy it. The other thing that's going to continue to happen is the more and more people go with direct-to-consumer companies,
Yep.
and you start cutting out these. We were talking about it earlier about these big box stores that are going away and stuff. But that direct-to-consumer model,
Yeah.
people start realizing that they can get the same quality of good at fractional pricing.
Yeah.
The big boys, the only way to compete is they have to make it to where it's like, okay, yep, we're the same price as DTC, but you can get it now.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait the 3 to 5 days for it to show up in the mail or whatever. You can
Right.
come and you can have it right now. But that was always the model. Like there was always mail order companies. There was always this idea of you could get it a little cheaper if you went with this, but you've got to be patient. And that I want it now mentality.
You ever been into an LL Bean store?
I have.
There's like 2.
Yep.
Other than that, I know every motherfucker has ordered something from their catalog at one point in their life.
I have a wallet that, no, that wasn't LL Bean.
That's from Tacova.
That's from Tacova. That's right.
Very different than LL Bean.
That is
Slightly.
yeah.
God, speaking of nostalgia, do you remember when everybody had their LL Bean backpack
Yep.
with their initials embroidered on it?
Yep. And because their mom got the catalog and ordered it because, he'll know it's his.
And the embroidery was free.
Yeah.
And
You got 3 letters.
3 letters, it's just your initials. And they'd buy that backpack for you in like 8th grade, and you had it all the way through high school. That when North Face backpacks became like the thing.
Yeah.
That was a weird time in the late 90s and early 2000s when everybody functioned on outdoor gear.
They did, but nobody did anything outdoors.
Middle of the city.
I don't even think North Face was like geared.
Dude.
I think they marketed outdoors, but
Well,
I
it's
don't think they did anything.
How
Middle
many,
of the city.
How
I
many
still
Hurley
carry-
t-shirts did you see? Those guys have never surfed a day in their fucking life.
It's like I could do nothing but laugh every time like how far we are from anything saltwater. And I see somebody with Salt Life stickers, and I'm just like,
my
shut the
favorite,
fuck
my
up.
absolute favorite. If I see you on that evacuation route when a hurricane's coming, take that goddamn Salt Life sticker off your vehicle
Fucking
right
A,
now.
dude.
That's
Fucking
not how
A.
any of this works, bud.
but fuck, I was guilty of it. I had a North Face backpack that I held with a Nalgene bottle attached to it with a carabiner. I don't know why we all did it. Like all of us were just prepped for like, well, after school I've got a 14-mile hike and I need to make sure I've got my gear.
just in
with me.
case, just in case you do, you know. And a lot of people, I'll bet you the people that got those bags, they still do it when they travel. Just in case, I'm going to bring this. They haven't used it on 10 trips. They still bring it. Mikey's like, yeah, God damn it.
The amount of shit that I have, you know me, I'm an impulse buyer.
Yeah.
You know, like I buy weird shit, dude. And like, you know, the amount of shit that I've bought that I've never fucking used is astounding. Like, it's so, like, I'm not proud of it.
I totally take advantage of the people that over prep like that. Even the guys like I ride with. Like
Yeah.
I know people that like couldn't put anything in their saddlebags because they just have so much just in case shit in their saddlebags. I'm like, I'm bringing nothing
You don't need it.
because I
He's
know
got everything.
you fucking have it all.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah. Well, that's like, you know, it's the mentality. Like, especially if you're like, if let's say you're riding with a guy, fucking, you bring this stuff, I bring this stuff, we're good.
Nope.
Right?
I've got a set of Allen keys and an adjustable wrench. That's
90% of your shit.
honestly, if I can't fix my bike on the side of the road with those tools, it's fucked anyway.
Yep.
So like I
fix it on the side
if
of the
whatever
road.
I can't fix with those things, then it can't be fixed.
There you go.
I have a basic toolkit, zip ties, and duct tape.
Yeah, I have zip ties too.
Yep.
I have zip ties.
If the tools aren't going to fix it, I can zip tie it or duct tape
Yep.
it.
Like
that
if I
ain't gonna
lose a
work,
bolt,
then
I can
need
zip
no
tie it
joint.
together. Other than that, yeah, I have my Canadian socket set, which is just it's a fucking adjustable wrench,
Love it.
and then a set of the Allen keys in one of those holders, and it's just the long ones in case I
Yeah.
need to tighten it up. But yeah, that's so yeah, nostalgic fucking when there was actually competitive pricing because we weren't subsidizing fucking everything, and all that's carryover from. Oh my God, all these businesses are going to go under because nobody's out shopping because everybody's shopping online and we're going to lose all these fucking stores. And that was 5 years ago. And the government just started pouring money into businesses to keep them from going under. And we just never stopped.
Yeah.
And so if you want to know why everything got fucking more expensive, even though all of overhead went down because everybody cut property, people didn't have the office spaces. They cut on the personnel. They went to work from home. People were working for less because you had guys that were, yeah, I'll take less because I happen to know that my job only takes 15 hours a week. So I'm employed with you and I'm contracting with these people. And so I'm getting paid double
Yeah.
and shit like that. And
How many did you know that worked from home had like 3 work from home jobs?
several.
A lot of them.
And they stacked cash.
Yep.
And
Especially like IT guys and shit like
project
that. dude.
managers.
Yeah.
It
Fucking
was,
banking money.
but it all stuck. And that's that sticky pricing model. And the subsidies kept in. And so now essentially they're going like, no, go out and shop. Fucking and force these people to change their prices. If you don't like them, find somebody else.
But now it's even starting to trickle down and affect the private sector now too. I mean, you see all these massive companies laying off, 15, 20, 30, 40% of their employees. It just so happens that it coincides with all the shit that's going on with the government. But reality, what's going on is they got all their numbers back. And they're like, oh, just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when you had all that subsidy money that was covering those salaries, and now that subsidies money's gone, we don't actually need you.
Yeah.
You existed because we were getting these tax breaks for an X amount of new hire, or these tax breaks for because we satisfied this or we satisfied that, and da 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 da. So we were getting all this shit. Now it's like, how about you get none of that? And they're like, oh fuck, there's no benefit to you people. Fucking bye. Like,
Now that's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
and
Back when I was a kid, Frankfurters only cost a nickel.
so I mean, I think we'll see it. I think it's starting to come back. There's some other stuff that I think the government needs to get out of. There's some stuff that I think the government needs to get into.
I think
Like,
I think
I don't
Congress-
think any corporation should be allowed to own single family housing.
I agree.
I agree with that.
But the only way we fix that is the government has to step in and stop it. The government has to step in and change the law and go like, no corporation can have single family housing holdings.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It is an entirely private market sector product. You as a corporation, you cannot hold single family homes. Watch what happens to a company like BlackRock
Yep.
and watch how many houses all of a sudden go up for sale.
Truth.
which means all housing prices go down because the housing market gets flooded. And
Interest rates drop.
there's an insane amount of homes that are held by corporations.
So interest rates are going to drop because of the direction the economy is going in. And essentially what it is people are going to stop spending money. And then the Fed is going to be like, fuck, we need to convince them that they need to spend money. And that's when they start dropping interest rates. It has nothing to do with anything else that's going on.
Well, this style of administration wants to see new businesses open.
Yeah.
And that takes fucking money. And most people aren't sitting around with multiple commas in their bank account of liquid that they can just go open a business with. That takes loans.
Can't confirm.
Yeah.
What's a comma?
And so
I have a decimal point. That's it.
And so, that takes money. And when interest rates get sexy and the loans are available and people stop spending, then banks don't make money if they're not giving out loans. That's how they make money.
Yep.
So if people stop spending, businesses don't open. And if businesses don't open, businesses don't take loans.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see it. I would love to see a resurgence in small business. That's going to seriously impact this sticky pricing model because people are going to start going small and get away from the huge superstores.
Yeah.
And if you want to see it already happening, go to a Best Buy and see how much of that shit you go like, what the fuck? Like Best Buy selling lawnmowers.
Yeah.
Wow. Everything.
Like it's getting fucking weird out there.
Like look at Home Depot. Go on Home Depot's website and search for anything.
It's all there. They're aggregate seller now. They'll sell anything like it's an Amazon.
Yep.
But go into a Hobby Lobby and find anything that's actually hobby related.
It's basically a home store.
It's all just decorations and shit.
Yeah.
Like the model's shifting, and it's going to make some weird things. And when companies start doing that stuff like that, those are death throes. Like Best Buy stopped selling all media. They don't sell movies, music, anything. It's all gone. They don't sell any of it anymore in any location.
I don't even think they sell video games anymore, do they?
No, everything's gone digital.
Not the.
This is Home Depot where you can buy flat panel televisions.
Oh, well, speaking of which,
type in motorcycle lift real quick.
I had a TV.
This is where I bought mine.
Motorcycle's one word, but that's cool.
We're getting there.
It'll get there.
It auto-corrected.
There they are.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want? Keep going. There's more. Yeah.
That's it.
Now, keep in mind, you are not getting these from Home Depot.
No.
Home Depot is using its site to sell these products.
Well, the
They're
best
drop
part
shipping.
is the one that I got. I called the company, like just to figure out like shipping and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're a Texas-based company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, we're right up the street. And I'm like, hell yeah, guys. That's awesome.
But and the more you see that, the more they're trying to figure out how to sell stuff. And if you want an indicator of it, go to these things and find, like I'm a Total Tech member at Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
If they can offer me a different price than they can offer you, because I bought this membership that cost me $6 a month.
Yeah.
Or you'll see shit and it's like 40% off. And it's like, that came out last week. And it's like, yeah.
Yep.
If they can afford to do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff that happens in the next little bit.
But I would love to see, that's a nostalgia piece that I would love to see, is actual competitive market again.
Yeah.
Biggest nostalgia pieces I miss is that, I would love to stop seeing celebrity politicians.
What do you mean?
I hate
there's no nowhere in the world.
Not celebrities that became politicians. Politicians that are now celebrities.
Oh, that's all.
I want to stop seeing.
Fucking hate it.
I want to stop seeing politicians who make fucking $200,000 a year magically become millionaires.
Yeah, we know your salary.
It ain't that. Like Pelosi,
these guys that are. It's on both sides.
You'd be amazed.
For sure.
These Republicans that get voted in first term.
Absolutely,
you'd be amazed what they get paid for speaking engagements.
Yeah, they get voted in first term. They make $180,000 a year. And after the 4-year congressional stint that they did, they're worth $7 million.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how good you are at investing.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't work.
So
yeah.
Congress needs to pass. Congress needs to pass a law because technically right now it's illegal for the U.S. government to invest any federal funds, but they need to pass a law to take Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all the things that were used to be standalone accounts dedicated for specific things that back in the day got moved into essentially the government slush fund that they can use for anything because technically it's tax money.
You mean the pooled asset?
Yeah, that they're using with people's retirement, that all of a sudden we don't have any money because they spent it all. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, like
they need to reverse that.
We don't have Social Security accounts. They're empty.
They need to reverse that, and they need to take Social Security, and they need to essentially rotate and farm out investors to invest it, because there would never be an issue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like at all, ever.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not hard.
You're handing a pot of gold, fittingly, to an investment company, but like, hey, you're in control of this for 3 years. By the way, this is the minimum we have to make.
If you want to know how
and then
fucking
you rotate off
Do
after
something
that.
simple. Put it in the S&P 500 and fucking let it ride.
Which
right?
is what most people, like, if you ever put money into a 401k,
Yeah.
and then like you put it in there and you're just kind of giving your 2%, and you forget about it, and then you check it in a couple years and you're like, how the fuck do I have so much money in there? That account is being put against a bunch of indexes, like you just said,
Yep.
and it's getting 5 or 6% return, and it just sits there and cooks away.
That's
and
one thing I have to give our former employer. A 401k is still rocking.
Yeah,
It's
we
still
shifted.
rocking.
We shifted all of ours, and then when Caitlin left corporate, we shifted it all again to Roth
Yeah.
into it, which still just operates like a 401k.
Yeah.
But you do not really need to know fuck all. Ours is in a semi-aggressive index fund investment, and I think we're seeing on average like an 8% return, and I don't do anything. It just
Well, they matched
Cooks.
They matched 8%, which was nice.
Starting April 1st, I have a financial advisor, wealth management person for you guys.
Yep.
I heard.
Already spoke to her.
I know. Yeah. She told me to remind you to get your shit together.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's actually going. I have like two.
She told me yesterday.
I have like 2 or 3 401ks from like when I was a contractor and at our former employer and all that shit. And I want to merge them, put them all together. So she's
Yeah,
gonna
we rolled
handle
them.
that for me.
So we rolled ours when Caitlin went to her new company. We rolled it, and then we rolled that into private, mainly because when she left that corporation, that investment firm was like, you're in like a corporate sponsored one. Like you can't maintain it privately. Like you've got to do something with it. And we were like, cool, let's talk about Roth IRAs. And they were like, yeah, we can fucking do that. So
Yeah.
We
Anyways.
shifted some of it into my property because the return on property is way better than my retirement account's ever going to do. But
This hour-long debate's going to end.
Yep.
Sorry, I missed the podcast.
I don't think you did. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Smash those buttons, other things. I'm going to raise my bottle here. Say cheers, boys.
Yep.
Thanks for being a freedom friend. Scott's on this train with me right now.
Mine's out.
Yeah, you empty. Like, share, subscribe. Do all those things. Hey, check out the Patreon. Follow us. You're going to get some content a little earlier. And that's what helps keep this rig rolling, right? Otherwise, 3 little things. They're pretty easy to do. They're not hard at all. Scotty,
Smoke on.
John,
Drink on.
and goddamn it, kids.
freedom
Freedom
to
to
fuck
fuck
on.
on. Later.